What about the disbelieving person? إن العبد الكافر إذا كان في انقطاع من الدنيا وإقبال من الآخرة. When he is about to leave this world and he's about to turn and journey onwards into the akhirah. Now look at the parallels. This exact same hadith, how the Prophet ﷺ said it for the believer, he's now going to say the same story, but this time for the disbeliever. نزل إليه من السماء ملائكة سود الوجوه. Angels will come down with black faces. And now all he can see, he can't see this bright light like the sun. He doesn't see that. He just looks and he sees angels that are stern. He sees darkness. He sees punishment in front of him. And they don't have a shroud. They have a sackcloth. Like the rough kind of fiber cloth. فَيَجْلِسُونَ مِنْهُ مَدَّ الْبَصَرِ. They also sit as far as the eye can see. Imagine he looks for any light to shine, for any sign of guidance or any sign of hope, but he just sees darkness. He sees angels with stern faces. He sees angels bringing Allah's punishment to him. As far as the eye can see. ثُمَّ يَجِيءُ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ. Then the angel of death comes. حَتَّى يَجْلِسَ عِنْدَ رَأْسِهِ. And he sits at his head. The same as he did for the believer. فَيَقُولُ أَيَّتُهَا النَّفْسُ الْخَبِيثَةِ. He says, you filthy soul. اخرجي إلى سخط من الله وغضب. Come out to Allah's wrath and Allah's anger. What do you think will happen to that soul at that time? Can you imagine a soul that is told, what you're coming to now is what you were promised? The anger of Allah, the curse of Allah, the wrath of Allah, the punishment of Allah, come and have it. What happens? فَتَفَرَّقَ فِي جَسَدِهِ. He tries to split up inside of the body to escape. And he's pulled out like as if you had suf al-mabrul, you had wet wool wrapped around a metal skewer with spikes on it, and you ripped the wool into pieces through the spikes. It's not an easy way that he comes out. And yet everything that is going to happen to him is going to be worse. So it's not like things are going to get better. It starts with in some of the narrations it mentions that the nerves are ripped apart. And you know what how painful nerve pain is. And it rips through the nerves of the body as the soul comes out. The angel of death, فَيَأْخُذُهَا, he takes it. فَإِذَا أَخَذَهَا لَمْ يَدْعُوهَا فِي يَدِهِ طَرْفَةَ عَيْنٍ. They don't leave it in his hand even for the blink of an eye. They take it and they put it into that sackcloth. And what comes out? Not the smell of perfume. Like the worst smell of a dead body that has ever been smelt on the face of this earth. Like a rotting corpse. فَيَسْعَدُونَ بِهَا. They go up into the sky. And they don't pass by any group of angels. إِلَّا قَالُوا, except that they say, مَا هَذَا الرُّوحِ الْخَبِيثِ. What is this evil soul? فيقولون فلان بن فلان بأقبح أسمائه التي كان يسمى بها في الدنيا. They call him by the worst names that he was known by in this dunya. فيستفتح له. Then they go to the first heaven, سماء الدنيا, and they ask for it to be opened. Perhaps this soul will be able just to glimpse Jannah, right? Just to be able to see Jannah from far. فَلَا يُفْتَحُ لَهُ. The door is not open for him. Not even the lowest door is not open for him. Then the Prophet ﷺ, he recited, لَا تُفَتَّحُ لَهُمْ أَبْوَابُ السَّمَاءِ. They will never, the doors of the heavens will never ever be open for them. And it's not only that they won't enter Jannah. حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط. It's not that they won't enter, they won't enter Jannah. They won't even be able to get past the Sama' al-Dunya. They can't even get in the first door. And then Allah Azza wa Jal says, اكتبوا كتابه في سجين في الأرض السفلى. Write his name, his book, write his account in Sijjin. كتاب مرقوم. It's a book that has already been written. The names have already been etched into it. In the lowest earth. Then his soul is cast down. طرحا. And it's not gently lowered down. The angels don't carry it down. They throw it down. They throw it away because it's worth nothing. It's a nafs which is khabitha. It's a filthy, evil soul. It's not worth anything. So they don't gently bring it down to its grave. They throw it. They throw it away because it's trash. It's rubbish. So they throw it from the top of the heavens. And they cast it away tarhan. They just let it go like that. And here in some of the narrations, if I can find the narration, I will find it. In some of the narrations, it's mentioned that the Prophet ﷺ recited the ayah in Surah Al-Hajj. حنفاء لله غير مشركين به ومن يشرك بالله فكأنما خر من السماء فتخطفه الطير أو تهوي به الريح في مكان سحيق. That whoever makes a partner with Allah, it is though they have been cast down from the heavens and the birds snatch them, or the wind carries them to a far off place. This person is just cast down. And when they are cast down, finally their soul will enter the body. فتعاد روحه في جسده ويأتيه ملكان. The two angels, Munkar and Nakir. The scholars differed, by the way. Munkar and Nakir, is that their name or is that their sifa? And some of them said that's how they are. Munkar and Nakir, yani terrifying and scary. And some of them said that's the name of them. And Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. فيجلسانه, they make him sit up. فيقولان له من ربك. They say to him, who is your Lord? فيقول ها لا أدري. He says ha. This is a word you say when you know the answer but you can't just remember right now. It's like he's stuttering. He says I don't know. In the end he says لا أدري. He knows. They said this is أبلغ في عذابه. It's worse punishment. Why? Because it's not like he doesn't know the answer. He knows his Lord is Allah, but he can't make his tongue say it. That's why he says he's trying to say the word Allah. Can you imagine how horrible that is? That he in himself, he knows Allah is his Lord. He wants to say Allah, he wants to be saved, but his tongue will not listen to him that day. His tongue just stutters over the word until he says, I don't know. فَيَقُولَانِ لَهُ. Then they say to him, مَا دِينُك? What's your religion? Does he say, I'm a Christian, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Hindu, I'm an atheist? He says, لا أدري, I don't know. And that shows in reality these people that their religion is based on nothing. There's no foundation to it. It's just something, it's a set of strange cultural ideas they picked up in this world. But it doesn't have any basis to it. He doesn't even try and defend it. He doesn't even try to say, yes, I am a proud so-and-so. He just stumbles. I don't know. فيقولان له ما هذا الرجل الذي بعث فيكم. Who is that man that was sent among you? فيقول لا أدري. I don't know. فَيُنَادِ مُنَادٍ مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ أَنْ كَذَبَ عَبْدِي. A caller calls out, my servant lied. فَأَفْرِشُوهُ مِنَ النَّارِ. Make him a bed from fire. وَافْتَحُوا لَهُ بَابًا إِلَى النَّارِ. In some of them, clothe him from fire. In some of the riwayat, clothe him from fire. And open for him a door to the fire. Imagine that. His bed is on fire. His clothing is on fire. And next to him there is like a window that is to the hellfire. And he can smell. What can he smell? فَيَأْتِيهِ مِنْ حَرِّهَا وَسُمُومِهَا. The poison of the fire comes into his nose and the heat of the fire. And then his grave becomes tight for him. Until حَتَّى تَخْتَلِفَ أَضْلَاعُ. Until his ribs crush one into the other. وَيَأْتِيهِ رَجُلٌ قَبِيحُ الْوَجْهِ. A man with an evil face comes to him. قَبِيحُ الثِّيَابِ. With a very evil clothing, and with horrible clothing. With a horrible smell. فَيَقُولُ أَبْشِرْ بِالَّذِي يَسُوءُكَ. He says, take tidings today. I came to tell you that everything that will make you sad, everything that you will hate is going to happen to you. هذا يومك الذي كنت توعد. This is the day you are promised. فيقول من أنت. He says, who are you? فوجهك الوجه يجيء بالشر. You have a face that looks like you're evil, you're bringing evil. فيقول أنا عملك الخبيث. I am your evil deeds. So while he's being burnt in the fire on his bed, what does he ask Allah for? رَبِّ لَا تُقِمِ السَّاعَةِ. My Lord, don't let the hour come. Leave me here. And he wants to be on a bed of fire. He wants to be wearing the clothes of fire. He wants to smell the poison of the fire because he knows that what is coming tomorrow is worse than what he has now. So he begs Allah, leave me here. Just leave me here. I'll accept this. Just leave me with the bed of fire, the clothes of fire, the smell of fire. Just leave me here like this. And that's what he makes, that's what he makes dua for. And subhanallah, when we listen to this, there is something very important to think about. And then just in the closing remarks, we have only a couple of minutes. But there's something very important to think about. This hadith, there's something missing from it. Not missing as in deficient, because there's nothing deficient in what the Prophet ﷺ told us. But there's something missing from the narrative. And that is, where is the disobedient Muslim? The answer is, the disobedient Muslim is not mentioned here in the hadith. Neither is he mentioned in the first, nor is he mentioned in the second. Because we know that there will be Muslims who will be punished in the grave. And they will go to Jannah. They will be from the people of Jannah, but they will be punished in their grave. Wal-iyadhu billah. We ask Allah to keep us safe. Subhanallah, think about this. There will be people being punished in their grave from the Muslims, from the people who were, from the people who, they did good deeds, and they were from the people who came to the masjid and they prayed. They will be punished in their graves. Sometimes for things people don't think is big. The Prophet ﷺ said about two graves he passed by, إِنَّهُمَا يُعَذِّبَانِ وَمَا يُعَذِّبَانِ فِي كَبِيرٍ. These people are being punished, but they're not being punished for something people think is serious. أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. As for one of them, he used to not keep himself clean from urine when he went to the toilet. And as for the other one, he used to tell rumors and gossip, spread gossip among the people. That wasn't a disbeliever. That's a Muslim. So you need to keep this in mind, that there is a reason why the Prophet ﷺ did not mention al-fasiq and al-asi. He didn't mention them, in order that the question mark remains there for you. Will they get a share of this? How will it be for them? So the issue is very, very serious indeed, and very, very something that you have to give yourself time to think about. I just want to finish, and subhanAllah, the time is very little. Wallahi, we have not even 10%. But I just wanted to finish by just talking about very briefly what are some of the things that a person can do to be saved by Allah's permission from the punishment of the fire. What are some of the things that a person could do to be saved from it? And I'm just going to mention a few very small points. I'm not going to mention all of them. But I just want to mention a few. So from them, first of all, is your good deeds. And this is the greatest overall category of what saves a person from the fire, is doing good deeds and keeping away from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made haram, taqwa, so on. Making dua, and specifically at the times when the Prophet ﷺ used to ask Allah to keep him safe. It's narrated that since the adhab al-qabr was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, he never left a single salah without asking Allah. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhab jahannam wa min adhab al-qabr. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhab al-qabr wa min adhab al-nar. Asking Allah to keep him away from and safe from the punishment of the grave. The adhkar that are narrated and the things that the Prophet ﷺ used to do, and from that is reciting before you go to bed, and reciting Surah Al-Mulk before you go to sleep. This is also from the things which is narrated in terms of a person being saved from the punishment of the grave. And actually, wallahi, there are many. And I think the brothers are telling me that my time is up because we have another program, inshallah ta'ala.